James Harden's 10th signature shoe has been leaked and it's rumored to be released December 2025. I know what you're thinking. Isn't it basically the Adidas Harden Volume 9, but only with a different exoskeleton? And if you go one level back, isn't the 9 basically the 8 with a different exoskeleton as well? If you're thinking that way, you have a point. That's because that's practically all there is to it. If this is the Adidas Harden Volume 10, then it doesn't stray too far from the build of the two previous models. Adidas has been keen on following a design language for its signature shoes, and that strategy is in full display in James Harden's signature line ever since the Volume 8 came out. But this could swing the other way. Because if you think about it, the Adidas Harden Volume 10 may not really have anything new to offer. Some would say that Harden's shoes are just changing layers, but the frame and everything inside it is just the same. Others might go the extra mile and say Adidas is starting to run out of ideas. So let's have a quick conversation. The exoskeleton of the shoe looks intriguing to say the least. It's basically a radial pattern like a drop of water creating ripples on the surface. At this time, we don't have the official press release yet to explain what the design inspiration is, but water ripple is probably the closest description we can have for the exoskeleton's design. But if you compare the 8, 9, and 10, you will probably notice one thing. Train your eyes on the exoskeleton because it seems to have a recurring theme. At first glance, the Volume 8 gives us that teardrop-shaped EVA cage. In the Volume 9, we see the same teardrop shape on the exoskeleton but replicated thrice to echo the three-stripe branding. Kind of like the 8 is when there's one teardrop, then the 9 is when more tears start to come in. Seriously. Then comes the Volume 10. The exoskeleton has ripples as if the designer has continued the story, this time with the tears having formed a pool, hence the ripples. I mean, it's a long shot, but if you're a designer aiming for a consistent design language, it's one way to look at it. One would wonder if the designer is telling us that James Harden has been crying because he still hasn't won a championship. It's so subtle yet so upfront that it's practically hiding in plain sight. But of course, being part of the Adidas payroll, the designer himself tells a different story. Radical simplicity is said to be at the heart of the design. This began with the Adidas Harden Volume 8. Adidas senior footwear designer Jalal Inayas said in a previous interview that the signature line follows a less is more approach, although his team were initially hesitant at first to adopt it. He says that designs following that approach may be boring for some people because we live in a world of overstimulation, but they eventually went for it. The fun challenge for him and his team is to evolve the radical simplicity while still being true to the story. When the Volume 9 came out, the design team was looking at ventilation to be just what it is, hence the teardrops resembling the three stripes to supposedly allow for more airflow. And that's not all, because the team also didn't want to make changes merely for the sake of making changes, so the teardrop shape was retained. This radical simplicity is still most likely the same guiding principle behind the Volume 10. From the ripple upper to the outsole, the shoe features radial lines as a consistent design element. A curved line in itself is simple enough, but making it the focal point of a shoe's design radicalizes its simplicity. It's no longer just a mere line, it becomes the overarching theme. But how do people feel about it? Chat, how are we feeling about the shoe so far? Some folks are saying that the exoskeleton of the Adidas Harden Volume 10 looks like the Reebok Shaqnosis. It's Shaquille O'Neal's most iconic signature shoe originally released in 1995. The hypnotic swirl pattern on the upper is inspired by the opening sequence of the TV show The Twilight Zone. Others are saying that the Volume 10 resembles the Nike Foam Posit. It was a shoe first released in in 1997, and it had an upper material that features a seamless sculpted upper created by pouring liquid polyurethane into a mold. The result was a shoe that was built like a tank, enduring the years and remaining a constant in sneaker conversations. Some others have realized that the 10 basically looks like the 9, and they think there's no going around it simply because the 10 seems to have a similar base construction with the exoskeleton just wearing a different layer. Others say it's called design continuity, while some people say it's an approach that is getting boring already. I want to hear your thoughts though. Let me know what you think, because to me, the so called radical simplicity of the Adidas Harden Volume 10 doesn't seem to push the boundaries of sneaker design hard enough. It's radically simple, but I think it's not radical enough. Of course, there are those who will like this design approach and will wet their pants all over it, which is fine by me. I just want to know why. Still, I think the Adidas design team has anticipated the criticisms. It's not like they were born yesterday. I'm sure they have deliberated on the design long enough to know that there will be people who will be not satisfied with the Volume 10. We will most likely see more photos in the coming weeks, but in the meantime, let me know what you think. Hey man, thanks for making it this far. In the next couple of days, I'll be launching something new, an exclusive space here in YouTube where I'll get more personal and post some stuff you probably don't know about me yet as a content creator. So stay tuned and I hope to see you there.